We're here at Immaculate Conception getting ready for another day of grace. And so just a couple things. If you've been to confession here at Immaculate Conception, you probably know this, but if not, the door directly behind me is the door if you want to go to confession anonymously, if you'd like to kneel behind the screen. The middle door here is the priest's door, and then the far door here on your right is the door for going to confession face to face. And above each one is a light to show if somebody's in that particular door, or if there's somebody in that particular side. So middle one, if there's a priest in there, two sides, if there's somebody in each of those spots. So it's pretty straightforward, and even we've got the little confession cards up near the face-to-face door on the wall there. So pretty straightforward. But the one little wrinkle, the one little change of maybe adjustment that we're making is we've had a couple just kind of a couple things come up in previous days of grace here at Immaculate Conception, where there's been so many people wanting to come to confession that there was a little bit of confusion as to who's next in line. So people just sitting out in the pews and not knowing who's next, who came when, who's already been to confession, who's waiting in line to go to confession. So we just decided to make it pretty straightforward, is that this day of grace, we're going to have a line for confessions, and it'll just be right up against the wall right here. So you can see this pillar. There's another pillar back, but we're not going to pan the camera over there because the light is so bright that it would just blind you. So the next pillar back is where we're going to start the confession line. And so we'll put a little sign on the pillar, and it's pretty straightforward. We've all stood in line before. You just move on up to the next spot when the person in front of you goes. Now, if you're waiting in line for a while and you get tired, you can sit in the pew, and then as you're moving up, you can just kind of move to the next pew as you'd like to move up. Heck, there's even window sills that you can lean up against. So hopefully that'll help everybody knowing who's next in line, who's next for the confessional, and so there won't be as many worries. So there might be one other thing on certain times of day, the confessions get pretty busy, right? And so sometimes Father Willig and I will both hear confessions. And so if there's a second priest that comes in, we'll use the adoration chapel as the second confessional, and we'll do the same thing of having a line. We'll put a little sign where the line will begin for the secondary confessional. And those are kind of busy times of day, and we kind of know what those are from experience of when a lot of people come. So we're just going to form a line. Hopefully it'll make everything a lot more straightforward. You'll know when it's your turn, or who's waiting to go to confession, who's already gone, and they're just praying before the Blessed Sacrament. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully things go a little bit more smooth at this day of grace. So we look forward to seeing you, receiving the Lord's mercy, whether it's in adoration or whether it's in the confessional. Take care, and God bless.